All right, guys, I want to talk in this video about building toughness and developing grit in athletes. There's a lot of videos, articles, books out there that say you cannot build toughness in an athlete. The athlete is either born with that gift of toughness or not. And to an extent, that is true. I'll say this, when I was in high school wrestling, I was tough, but I was not mean, and that is almost like has to get blended with toughness to get somebody to succeed in these combative sports. Football, lacrosse, wrestling, rugby, anything that's a contact combative sport. So how do we do that? Because right now in New Jersey is wrestling season. Normally wrestling season is in the winter, but it's been bumped to a spring sport. And some of my athletes, some of the wrestlers are coming in and they're ready to train hard. They're ready to do in-season tough lifting. Others are feeling sorry for themselves. My body hurts, this hurts, that hurts. Well, if I talk to any serious wrestler, any serious football player, your body is not feeling 100% during the season. You've got the dings, you've got the bumps and bruises, you're feeling it. And so if you feel sorry for yourself, you don't push yourself during a short training session. And what I like to focus on in season is strength and power. The conditioning is going to come from the wrestling in and of itself. And same thing with football. Their conditioning should come from running a lot of plays and maybe getting some sprint work happening. So we're going to focus on getting stronger and more powerful. I'm not going to do maintenance. So I already start talking to them about the mindset about you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. So part of the formula to get an athlete tougher is to talk to them about it, to give them context. Much I'm 45, the things that my coaches said to me and said to anybody in the late 80s and early 90s didn't have much context. They called you certain names and they said certain things to you, and that's all you knew. It didn't really make much sense. And so you got to connect with them with stories, and you got to connect with them about what it takes and how it's normal to feel this way. And now they have a decision. They have an option. They have an opportunity, actually, to be somebody who leans into it versus letting that thing push them around and control them. Yeah, you're a little bit sore and tired, but are you going to use those baby weights, or can we get some sub-max weights going? So we need to talk to them and give them context about how to lean into the challenges and the soreness and how to keep showing up. Number 2, feed them small doses of challenges that take them out of their comfort zone, yet they experience success from it. Because if the athlete is always getting beat and beat down, then they build no confidence from it. And confidence and success, they kind of breed one another, right? Success breeds success. And if we push them too far, we break them down. If we push them just enough, we get a little bit of a breakdown, and then they break through because they realize they are capable. So not everybody's ready, or everybody's not going to be a Navy SEAL. Not everybody's ready to go through the full-blown, seek and destroy training. And so we're going to give them small doses, and then we're going to help them recognize and identify, boom, remember when you said you weren't going to be able to do it? You just crushed it. You make me proud. You should be proud of yourself. Now let's get it again. Let's do that one more time, and let's do it even better. Bang, that's more points on the board. Another notch of toughness and grit being developed. And so maybe in the beginning, it's these small doses, these small victories. And let me tell you, it's not all happening in one season this year. It takes time. I remember working with Donnie Pritzloff at Rutgers, and he said, Zach, you could never give up on a kid, because a kid might, start off as a freshman, struggling. Kid might be a total mess, and he might be that way all the way up until his senior year, or as a fifth-year senior if he's a redshirt, and he might completely turn the corner and become an All-American. And I had started learning that years before, but Donnie solidified it even more, because sometimes you see these kids, they're struggling. They struggle to get through a warm-up, but then they have that little bit of a breakthrough, and another one, and it's the compounding effect. The sad thing is, sometimes I've seen the opposite. You have a real high achiever, you have somebody who's maybe and maybe they're not tough. Maybe they're just crushing it. They're highly motivated, all that stuff in the beginning. Then something happens, and then you lose them, and they decide to quit the sport, wrestling, football, whatever it is. And it could be something that happened in the family. It could be something that happens with a relationship. Somebody gets a girlfriend for the first time, and now they don't know how to manage their emotional stress. So there's a lot of these like pieces of the puzzle. But toughness and the development of grit are certainly capable. Angela Duckworth has that great definition of grit where basically the athlete is in it for the long term, knowing that the payoff, that the success, that the ultimate victory is not happening next week, next month, or even next year. It could be many, many years from now. And grit is the ability to stay the course and stick to that path, not knowing when the ultimate kind of result is going to happen. And that's what we need to teach kids, especially in this generation where they're used to getting things immediately, is that we're not looking at the next 4 years or the next 4 weeks or 4 months. We're looking at the next 4 years. We're going to take our time. And you'll hear coaches who have successful athletes, they'll say, listen, that kid wasn't like that all the time. It took years before he got that way. So that's some food for thought. You got to do tough things on the regular, but you don't want to overdose them on tough things. You give them just a few inches, a few centimeters more than they could handle, and then you cut it. The next time we add a little bit more and we add a little bit more. And before you know it, inch by inch, brick by brick, we have a stronger, tougher, more confident athlete. Not all of them are going to become Navy SEALs. That's obvious. But we can build tough people. But they got to stay the course, and you've got to stay the course and not overdo it. That's it, guys. I'm Zach Evanesh. Go to zachstrength.com. Check out the links below here on this YouTube channel, and check out my partners over at sorenex.com. Best strength equipment, bar none. Check it out. Coming to you from the Manasquan Underground Strength Gym. I'm out of here.